So Khamzat Chimaev is reigniting the beef with Alex Pereira, and he's calling for a super fight at the White House. Okay, so just imagine for a second, you got Khamzat, you got Alex Pereira, title versus title, right there on the lawn of the White House. Yes, guys, the lawn of the White House. I mean, if you told me this like a couple years ago, I couldn't even fathom the idea of a UFC event on the lawn, on the presidential lawn of the White House. Yeah, this is not a video game, guys. This is real conversation happening right now. And trust me, this particular event is not only going to shake up the entire UFC, but it's going to be absolutely probably one of the biggest events in sports entertainment ever. And it's all happening on American soil on America's 250th birthday. So the question comes down to is who exactly is going to be fighting on this card, because you have a lot of active, current, and also former fighters or fighters outside of the UFC wanting to get a piece of the action, wanting to get a fight, because from the rumors are there's going to be a lot of title fights, and it's going to be huge exposure. I mean, we're not just talking about reaching a domestic audience within the United States. We're talking about a global reach. The fighters that are going to be on this card are going to be remembered forever. They're going to be etched in history. So let's talk about this, guys. I'm your host, Shiraz. Welcome to Duality 7X. Please smash the like and subscribe. Now, look, guys, this is what's going on, all right? Khamzat Chimaev, okay? He's fresh off of dominating Dricus du Plessis, okay? And that all happened at UFC 319. He made history himself, guys. It was absolutely incredible. The way he dismantled DDP was unbelievable. It wasn't supposed to happen. A lot of people were like, Khamzat's not going to do well. Du Plessis is going to rock him. People were actually calling about when it was actually going to happen, which round Du Plessis was going to knock out Khamzat Chimaev. None of that happened. Khamzat dominated right from the beginning to the end. He was on him. He couldn't. I mean, if you watch the fight, it didn't look like Du Plessis had a lot of answers. And to be honest, he was gassed. Khamzat sucked the soul right out of his body. Okay. And, that night for Khamzat just changed everything in his life. He became the UFC middleweight champion of the world. And look, this guy, ever since he's been champion, he's been talking nothing but smoke. All right. He's calling out people, and he's, look, this guy's not, like, there's a lot of fighters he wants to fight. But the one guy he's been consistently calling out to challenge him is Alex Pereira. And Alex Pereira is not just anybody. Okay? And now here's the thing, too. He doesn't just want to fight Alex Pereira. He wants to fight. He wants to fight at the UFC White House mega card. That alone tells you how big this fight could potentially be. So here's what was said. Okay, Khamzat jumps on social media, and he essentially tells Alex Pereira, "Let's go White House. Don't worry, I'll finish you fast." Check it out. And then he turns it up another level, and then he talks directly to the fans of Brazil, to the Brazilian media, to the Brazilian fans, basically saying if Pereira isn't scared, then tell him to fight. So that's classic Khamzat, guys. Like, this guy has no filter. So that is Khamzat Chimaev, okay? That's classic Khamzat. Jumping on social media, straight up calling Alex Pereira out, and trying to speak to the Brazilian fans, the media, the people of Brazil, and encouraging them to ping Alex Pereira, to nudge him so that he could fight. He could fight Khamzat. Okay? Classic Khamzat energy. Guys, no filter, no brakes. This guy, when he turns the ignition, he puts his foot on the accelerator and he's gone. Pedal to the metal. You know, he floors it all the way. No brakes at all with this guy. And I'll tell you why this beef matters. Okay, here's a context. Here's a background that a lot of people, have forgotten. But I mean, these two guys almost fought years ago, back when Pereira won the middleweight belt at UFC 281. There were already talks, guys. There were teases. Social media went crazy. These guys were locking horns, trash talking one another. But for whatever reason, the fight never came to fruition. It just didn't happen. Now, fast forward to now, Khamzat is the middleweight champion. And Pereira, he just reclaimed the light heavyweight championship title by knocking out Magomedov Ankalaev, guys, at UFC 320. So remember, Khamzat won the middleweight champion against Duplessis at 319. And then Alex Pereira took out Magomed Ankalaev in UFC 320. And he did it in a very, very grandioso style, guys. Knocked out Magomed in the first round, in the first 1 minute and something. He did it in such classical Alex Pereira style. And then he's already talking about how he wants to move up, potentially to heavyweight. There's no stopping this guy. Both of these guys are champions. Both of these guys are scary. And both of these guys are global stars, all right? So this wouldn't just be a fight. If these guys were to fight one another, this would be classified as a super fight. This is what Khamzat wants. And I'm sure Alex Pereira is ready to fight him as well, too. And my personal opinion on all of this is that from a business standpoint, this is a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. I mean, from a legacy standpoint, this is the kind of fight that's going to define somebody's career. Khamzat himself is trying to cement himself as the next unstoppable force in the UFC, in the world of MMA, the guy who doesn't want to wait his turn. And Pereira, on the other hand, he's already a two-division monster, guys, with knockout power that changes fights instantly. Here you have Khamzat Chimaev, who will grapple you to the ground, and once he's on you guys, he's like a parasite. He's like a leech. He doesn't let you even breathe. There's no way to shake this guy off. Once he's on you, he's on you. And the longer he's on you, you just feel your energy just getting sucked right out of you. And then he just leaves you limp, like just lying there, just like a grape. This is what unbelievable wrestling, grappling does. And Alex, once he's on his feet, he starts throwing those punches. He's probably one of the most dangerous strikers in the world. So they say style makes fights, right? But I mean, this style matchup is just pure chaos. It would be brutal to see these guys fight. Alex would come out there explosive with the striking abilities. Khamzat would try to, grapple him to the ground and then just try to ground and pound him till he can't take no more. So this is technically where things get a little bit interesting, because if the UFC actually pulls this fight off at the White House, it will be title versus title. Okay, it's going to have a global political backdrop. Probably one of the biggest fights on the card, if not the main event, possibly the most watched MMA event ever. Guys, this is just one of the fights. Then we've got guys like Strickland. We've got guys like Conor McGregor. There's so many fighters who are going to be on this card. It's going to be one main event after another. It's almost hard to actually call a fight a main event and a co-main event. Do you even have prelims on this card? Every fight is going to be a main event. So going back to Khamzat and Alex Pereira, if Khamzat actually wins this fight, he becomes legit the all-time threat not just hype. His legacy cemented, pound for pound, probably one of the best fighters in the UFC in this era. If Pereira wins, then guys, if Pereira wins, he shuts down the whole hype train. He proves that power travels across divisions. And at his age, at 38, 39 years old, well, he'll just prove that age, Father Time, doesn't even have his number. Either way, the UFC is going to win, and the UFC is going to win big. But here's a catch, guys. Do you risk two champions on one night, or do you delay title defenses? Or do you strike while the iron is hot? This is the biggest challenge right now that the UFC has, especially when it comes to these two fighters, because I'm pretty sure both of these fighters want to fight each other. I'm hearing some rumors with Khamzat Chimaev taking on Sean Strickland, and Alex Pereira potentially taking on John Jones, because John Jones is not a current active fighter in the UFC, but he's made it very, very vocal. Every opportunity he gets to get on social media, or has an opportunity to talk to anybody in interviews, he's trying to reach out to Dana White through those platforms, essentially telling Dana that he wants to fight on the UFC White House card. John Jones wants to be on that card. So this is going to be really challenging for the UFC. I mean, right now, when I'm thinking about Pereira, thinking about Khamzat Chimaev, this is definitely a chess match. All right, and so this is, I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be a super fight. It's going to be a mega fight, and this is the thing. This is what I believe people want to see. This is what people are going to pay big bucks for. This is going to be probably one of the biggest pay-per-view events in the longest time I can remember, and it's really gonna outshine any boxing pay-per-view event, UFC event that I've seen in many, many, many years. All right. So when I say the UFC is gonna win big, they're gonna win big, guys. So look, here's the deal, guys. Recently, there's been some other things happening in Alex Pereira's life. Okay, he was super excited. If you guys remember, like less than 2 weeks ago, there's been a lot of pictures with Alex Pereira and Tracy Cortez announcing that they're getting together. They're super happy. I think Alex was just head over heels over Tracy Cortez. And I mean, social media was on fire. I mean, these guys were the talk of the town. So, I mean, they've had literally 1 week of dating, 1 week of headlines, and then just like that, guys, it was done. Look, honestly speaking, guys, I respect how Alex Pereira handled it. He's very calm, very respectful. He doesn't like a lot of drama. He seems like a very he's not very loud, kind of quiet, handles his business in other ways. In this case, I'm pretty sure he was devastated by this, but there's obviously a lot more to the story. It's really sad to see, but yes, guys, this is why you don't come out there on social media and start blasting your personal life. I mean, he was happy, okay? He was happy. She seemed happy. They were really excited, and then all of a sudden, just like that, after 1 week, it was done. And it's too bad. Not cool. I mean, I feel for Pereira, and who knows? We don't know the true story, to be honest. Now, but yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of memes out there, a lot of people talking stuff. There's a lot of drama, a lot of people saying a lot of things. Honestly, there's a lot of noise surrounding this, and so like the bottom line, guys, is, hopefully Alex can move past this. Hopefully, it's not going to interfere in his career. But bottom line, guys, going back to these guys fighting, Khamzat versus Pereira at the White House would be absolutely historic. It'll be risky, yes. It'll be dangerous, absolutely. But it's a must-see fight, all right? 100%. This is the kind of fight that transcends MMA and pulls in casual fans from all genre of combat sports all around the world, okay? So I want to hear from you guys. I did a lot of talking. I shared my thoughts and comments with you guys. Now I want to hear your thoughts and comments. Should the UFC book Khamzat Chimaev and Alex Pereira at the White House mega fight card, or should both of these guys first defend their belts before fighting on that card? Keep in mind, guys, the White House fight night card is going to happen in June. So if these guys do fight, they're gonna have to fight like right away, because you still need at least a few months for these guys to like regroup, re-strategize, get back into training mode so they can gear up for this fight in June. I have a feeling neither of these guys are gonna fight until that time. But anyways, drop your thoughts and comments below. I want to hear what you guys think. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please smash and like and subscribe. And join us here on Duality 7X for more fight talk. Everybody, the pleasure was all mine. I look forward to catching you guys on the next one.